Okay, so let's oh crap. I think I lost my share screen, right? Crap. All right, hold on, folks. Just getting set up here. YouTube. It's my lighting. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit better. Okay. All right, so this video is a little bit older. I am, let's see, share screen. Here we go. All right, you guys should be looking at my screen now. And you guys are, okay, there we go. We are good to go. So, yeah, I came across this video old already, but it's only 10 minutes long. I figure, sure, why not? Let's do a reaction video. Where are these two notifications I got? Okay. So anyway, I just kind of like saw the title and I was like, finally, now maybe she can help me figure out why. Now you know why men are struggling with dating or not. Okay, intelligent men don't struggle with dating because intelligent men are smart enough to not date. I can't exactly say we're struggling with something that you're not really attempting to do. But we'll see. Let's see if she gets. Let's see if is this true or is she just getting stuff wrong. We'll see. I actually do like Courtney Ryan's channel. So this is not any negative criticism. It's not coming from anything.
Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Courtney Ryan, and I thought this topic was interesting, and I've actually never discussed it before, which is why intelligent men might struggle with dating. Let me know down in the comments if you resonate with any of the points that I discuss in this video. The first reason here why intelligent men might struggle with dating is because of overthinking. Research suggests that intelligent individuals tend to overthink due to their heightened cognitive abilities, leading them to analyze situations more deeply and consider multiple possibilities and outcomes. This tendency to overthink can lead to many different dating struggles. The first one here being that intelligent men might struggle to make decisions in dating scenarios due to overanalyzing every single detail, which can cause delays, missed opportunities, almost a sort of decision-making paralysis. Maybe things like what to send as a first message or choosing a place for a first date. You almost enter a sort of decision-making paralysis where you're unable to make these decisions because you overthink and over single little detail. Overthinking.
Yeah, that is something I do kind of like criticize people about. It's like, the time you spend like trying to make up your mind, it's like you could actually be doing something. It's like when you get into like arguments with like somebody over what do we want to have for dinner? Oh, I don't know. Let's just like somebody just fucking pick something, Like that's one thing. Like man, I'm always getting into this argument with my mom and my sister in particular. They are like terrible with this. They are terrible. It's like, it's like they're just complaining. Oh, I'm so hungry. Well, what do you want for dinner? I don't know. I don't know. It's like, well, now you're just getting hungrier. Pick something. So yeah. Men tend to kind of be this. I don't know if this is really a gender issue though. I don't know. Like, I don't know. To me, a man should always have like the picked out before he even asks her on it. Not necessarily like not in like a cocky sort of way, but like like have a plan. Like if she says yes, and if she says no, okay, fine, ask another woman out. So, I feel like this one could be either way.
Can also lead to setting high expectations for potential partners or relationships, making it really challenging to even find someone who meets our criteria, which can sometimes turn a bit unrealistic, and I'm going to discuss this in detail later on in the video. The next thing is constantly analyzing conversations and interactions, which can lead to misinterpretations or misunderstandings, which can also increase your anxiety and your self-doubt. This can negatively impact your confidence and the ability to be relaxed in dating situations. Another struggle here that many intelligent men may experience is a fear in making mistakes or facing rejection, once again leading them to overthink every single step of the dating process and potentially sabotaging opportunities for connection before they even give themselves a chance to try. I think the first thing here that can really help is just recognizing when and if you're doing these things, which is the point of my video today. I think a lot of people might have these struggles with dating and not even realize that they're struggling with it, but hearing it from an outside perspective could help you sort of pinpoint what the issue might be. So that's the first step. But also techniques such as mindfulness, self-awareness, and seeking professional guidance can help to navigate the complexities of dating more effectively. Therapy can give you tools to approach your life or even dating specifically in a very different way. It sure did for me, and that's why I'm so excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who is trained to listen and give you helpful, unbiased advice.
It's
next reason why
I really do hate these freaking sponsored videos. They really do suck. It's like it's bad enough getting fucking spammed in your emails, but when the fucking spam is embedded in the YouTube video you are trying to watch, God, that's annoying as shit. But anyway, I kind of get where she was coming from with that first one. It's like way too much self-awareness, way too much not like self-awareness, but like way too self-conscious. So yeah, that I could definitely see getting in the way. So, I mean, I don't think that applies to me. I don't generally speaking, I don't ask women out. I'm not interested. I have no interest in getting involved in women. So, yeah, possibly.
Intelligent men might struggle with dating is because of hyper-independence. Now, being independent can be a wonderful thing, but hyper-independence can actually impact someone's dating life in a negative way. It can sometimes lead to a sense of emotional distance in relationships or an inability or hesitancy to open up due to your hyper-independent nature and reluctance to seek support from other people. Hyper-independent.
Yeah, if you're so fucking independent, then why are you seeking a relationship? I'm not saying you should necessarily be dependent, but if you're at that point, it's like, oh, I don't need anybody, I don't need this person. It's like, then why are you with them? That doesn't add up. That does not add up at all. So I have no idea where the hell they're coming from with this. Like, oh, I don't need anybody, I don't need this person or whatever. It's like, then why are you with them?
Independent people might find it challenging to be vulnerable or to express their needs within a relationship, which can potentially create barriers to intimacy and connection. This can also lead to misunderstandings and communication issues. In dating, I think this commonly leads to potential romantic partners assuming that you're just uninterested or sort of playing games with them because of your inability to open up or to be vulnerable. Intelligent men who value independence highly also might have a tendency to seek control in relationships and have a fear of losing their freedom once they enter a relationship. They might prioritize this freedom that they're scared of losing over a nurturing, fulfilling relationship and find it really difficult to commit. The next struggle is unrealistic standards and expectations. Now, having high standards can be a fine thing. I always say be the kind of person that the person you want to be with would want to be with too. I think this is more realistic than saying be what you want to attract, though I can see how that can be applicable in certain scenarios. However, it's possible that some intelligent individuals may struggle with dating due to having specific criteria or expectations.
No, you should not try to be what you want to attract. That is horrible dating advice. Because if you are the things that you're trying to attract, well, then the people looking like, is the dating scene really so narcissistic that everyone's just looking to date themselves? Why would you want to be what you're trying to attract? That's ridiculous. That's got to be the worst advice I've ever heard. I mean, yeah, hyper independence. I got you on that one. Unrealistic standards. It's like you should probably, there's that old saying. There's a better saying out there. It says opposites attract. So you should try to be the opposite of what you're trying to attract. It's like I have, and like this is the issue I have. Like this is why my sister is still single. Is like because she's got like all these tattoos. She's got short hair, and it's like she's basically everything a man doesn't want. A lot of men just don't like women with tattoos. A lot of men don't like women with short hair. A lot of women, so it's like, so when they see all of that stuff, so when they see a woman with all of those things, it's like, that's not going to attract a guy anytime soon. Same thing goes for women. It's like, oh, there was like that one viral video where the woman was, she was in her car as usual, because that's like where all these videos take place. And she was basically talking about how she's been hitting the gym and she's like super strong, and like all the strong men that she's trying to attract, they have like these delicate little ladies, right? And it's like, that's because they're not looking for a woman who's butch. Again, it's that old saying that opposites attract. Don't try to be what you're trying to attract, because that's not going to work. Yeah, so unrealistic standards. I feel like this one's kind of too broad. She should kind of narrow this one down.
I would recommend trying to be more open-minded and willing to connect with others on a deeper level beyond just intelligence. Building strong relationships involves a combination of factors such as emotional intelligence, compatibility, communication, and shared values. So look beyond just the intelligence mashup. Now, when someone has very high standards, they might inadvertently limit their dating pool by excluding potential partners who don't necessarily meet all of their criteria. This can then make it harder for them to find compatible matches. Naturally, someone who keeps a sort of checklist for a partner can also create a constant feeling of dissatisfaction and disappointment when people don't meet every single requirement that you have for them. And the reality is that many people miss out on potential connections with wonderful partners who might not fit every single criteria, but could still be a great match because of their rigid standards. It's really important to strike a balance between having standards that reflect your values and boundaries, while also being open to getting to know people who might not meet every single expectation. Dating and building relationships involves compromise and the willingness to see beyond just a checklist of traits. The next thing that intelligent men might struggle with are social skills. Now, intelligence can be an incredibly attractive trait in a man to many women. However, sometimes men who are very highly intelligent don't necessarily excel in the social skills department. I know even many of you have expressed that you resonate with this when I mentioned it before in videos that I've done specifically about introverts and social. That highly intelligent men, for example.
Yeah, the truth is the truth, regardless of how you feel about it. So if people are like really smart, it's like they're gonna like tell you what they know, And quite frankly, I don't give a damn how it makes people feel. Okay. So not necessarily that I don't pick up on social cues. I just ignore the shit out of them. It's like, you need to learn how to read the room. It's like, no. Room needs to grow up. Room has a fucking okay. I'm not gonna say anything I'm gonna regret later, but still, that's a room problem. Okay, if I'm out here freaking spitting facts and the room is still uncomfortable with it, that's a room problem. That's not a me problem.
People might find small talk or casual conversations very challenging, as they might prefer deeper, more intellectual discussions. This can sometimes make it harder to engage in these lighthearted or initial conversations that are common in dating settings. Boredom can also play a role here as well, and you could end up completely checking out of a combo that doesn't interest you or intellectually stimulate you. It's pretty obvious how this could be a problem on something like a first date. Overthinking absolutely comes into play here as well, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, and can lead to misreading body language or social cues that play an important role in communication.
Like I said, I don't miss social cues. I just ignore them.
To note here is that intelligence can sometimes be associated with a focus on logic and reason rather than emotional intelligence. Men who struggle with understanding and empathizing with others' emotions might find it challenging to connect on a deeper level in relationships, specifically because they approach everything in a very cerebral way. And again, I want to mention, I think just having a general understanding that these are things that you struggle with can be helpful in pinpointing how to navigate going forward and to practice these things. Some people are better in social interactions than others, but these are absolutely things that you can work on and practice. But how can you do that if you don't even know that this is something that you struggle with, right? This might come more naturally to some people versus others, but it's still absolutely something that you can work on. And the next one here is that your priorities and focus are elsewhere. Now, for many intelligent men, dating just isn't on their radar and ends up getting put on the back burner. They're more focused on their careers and their interests and other things going on in their lives, which I'll also say I think is a positive thing to an extent. It's certainly not uncommon for intelligent men to prioritize their career and interests over dating. I'm sure a lot of people feel like dating is a distraction or could hold them back from their goals elsewhere. Whether this is because they're passionate about their work, they enjoy personal development, or they simply have limited time and energy to dedicate to dating, I do think it's important to strike a balance here between your career, your interest, and your personal life.
It's like I said before, intelligent men don't date. Okay? You got other fucking shit to do. You're doing something else. You're focused on your career. You're focused on this, that, or whatever. Who has time for dating? So like I said, I wouldn't exactly call it a struggle. You're not really struggling with something you're not attempting to do. It's like me. That's like saying I'm failing to build a rocket ship. It's like, well, I don't remember actually attempting to build one, so I don't think I'm failing at it. Or I'm struggling to build a rocket ship. It's like, no, I'm not attempting to build a rocket ship. You know what I mean? Just saying.
Make sure that you're making time for these things if they are important to you. I would say for most people, a relationship is not just something that's going to fall so easily into your lap. I know there are people who have had that experience, so I don't want to discredit that or, not leave room for nuance here. But I do think that if you want to be in a relationship, if you see yourself getting married one day, dating is something that you're going to have to put time and effort and energy into, and make sure that you're leaving space in your life to do that. I think a lot of intelligent men are very focused on their careers and they have a lot of different interests and they like to dedicate time to those things, which you absolutely should be doing. I want you guys to feel confident about the life that you're inviting a woman into. This is ultimately going to help make you a more well-rounded individual as well. I think it's so important to put time into things that matter to you. But again, if you see yourself in a relationship, make time for dating some way, somehow. So guys, that's all I have for 5 reasons intelligent men might struggle with dating. Again, let me know down in the comments if you resonated with any of these points. Again, I just want to reiterate that sometimes I think it's helpful to recognize the struggles that you might be dealing with in terms of dating so that you can better understand what you need to work on and move forward. So if you like this video or found it helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to be in the loop.
All right. So, okay, let's stop sharing this. Yeah, definitely not. Probably not the most. Don't know how to word this, but probably not the best advice. Like I said, you're not struggling with that last one. I'm definitely going to disagree with the most. You're not struggling with something you're not attempting to do. So I don't think that part of the video really worked. So what was it? Number 1, overthinking. Yeah, it's one thing to be overthinking, like being way too analytical, I think is what she mostly meant by that. You should, but again, you should kind of have an idea of what kind of date you want to go on with with whatever woman before you ask her out. Have a plan. Like, And again, not necessarily from an egotistical standpoint, like, aha, I'm gonna ask this woman now, and she's gonna say yes, so I'm gonna take her to this place. Like, no, have have an idea of where you're taking her before you take her anywhere, before you even ask her, because there's always a possibility she's gonna say yes, So I mean, if she says no, well then okay, you're not going. Okay, you're not going on the date, so you don't need a place to pick out. But if you do want to ask her out, again, you should have the place already picked out. So things like that, I would definitely say applies to overthinking. Yeah, and then we get this little spam ad right in front of. Okay, hyper independence. Yeah, if you're independent, if you want to be independent, then be independent. If you want to be in a relationship, then be in a relationship. Stop trying to do both. It's one thing to want to multitask, but you can't multitask if the two tasks are contradicting each other. Unrealistic. Yeah, the unrealistic standards part was just kind of confusing, like because it kind of covered like way too many broad topics. So social skills, Like I said, if I'm talking or whatever, and it's like I'm up here spitting the truth, I'm dropping truth bombs or whatever, and it's making other people uncomfortable. It's like, well, that's kind of a room problem. That's not me. That's not my problem. Priorities and focus is like on other things. Like I said, you're not struggling with something you're not attempting to do. So anyway, guys, that's the video. Please comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff to my YouTube channel. I don't want to prattle on too long, so I'll catch you guys all later. Take care.